Ancient Buddhist wisdom has long understood what modern medicine is only beginning to confirm. The timing of food consumption carries as much importance as the food itself. For those blessed with years beyond 60, certain everyday vegetables consumed during nighttime hours create a silent assault on one of the body's most vital organs, the pancreas. This revelation may challenge decades of dietary habits, yet the evidence from both traditional Eastern medicine and contemporary health research proves undeniable. The pancreas serves as the body's metabolic guardian, regulating blood sugar levels and producing essential digestive enzymes. Buddhist practitioners have observed for centuries that this organ follows natural circadian rhythms, growing weaker and more vulnerable as darkness falls. When specific vegetables enter the digestive system during evening hours, they trigger inflammatory responses and enzyme disruptions that accumulate over time, leading to pancreatic stress, insulin resistance, and potentially devastating health consequences. What makes this situation particularly alarming is that the vegetables causing the most severe damage are commonly considered healthy choices. Families serve them nightly at dinner tables without realizing the harm they inflict on aging bodies. The pancreas of someone over 60 operates differently than that of a younger person. It possesses reduced enzyme production, slower regenerative capacity, and heightened sensitivity to inflammatory compounds. When certain vegetables are consumed after sunset, their natural compounds interact with the body's lowered nighttime metabolic state, creating toxic buildups that the aging pancreas cannot efficiently process. Medical professionals now confirm what ancient healing traditions have taught. Nighttime vegetable consumption for seniors can accelerate pancreatic inflammation, worsen diabetes risk, disrupt blood sugar stability, and contribute to digestive disorders. The vegetables about to be revealed appear in refrigerators across the world, sitting innocently on dinner plates while silently compromising pancreatic health with every evening serving. This knowledge could change everything about how meals are planned, potentially adding years of vitality and protecting one of the body's most precious organs from unnecessary damage. Before diving deeper into this life-preserving information, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. This simple action ensures access to wisdom that could protect health and extend quality of life. The knowledge shared here has been gathered from Buddhist healing traditions spanning centuries, combined with modern medical research specifically focused on senior health. Those who understand these principles gain power to make informed choices that honor the body's natural rhythms. Additionally, comment below with this powerful mantra: "My body honors natural rhythms and healing wisdom." Speaking this affirmation publicly creates energetic commitment to respecting the body's needs and following practices that support rather than harm vital organs. This declaration, witnessed by others, strengthens resolve to implement the protective measures about to be revealed. Buddhist philosophy teaches that the body represents a temple requiring mindful care and attention. Just as temples close their doors at certain hours to protect sacred spaces, the digestive system requires protection during vulnerable evening hours. Ancient monks observed that eating patterns aligned with natural light cycles promoted longevity and prevented disease. They recognized that organs possess different levels of activity throughout the day, with the pancreas demonstrating peak function during morning and afternoon hours while growing sluggish and sensitive as evening approaches. Traditional Eastern medicine describes the pancreas as governing transformation, converting food into usable energy and maintaining the delicate balance of blood sugar levels. When this organ becomes overwhelmed by inappropriate evening foods, its transformative capacity diminishes, leading to accumulation of toxins and metabolic dysfunction. Buddhist healers understood that harmony between eating patterns and natural cycles formed the foundation of health maintenance. They observed that elderly practitioners who avoided heavy, complex foods during evening hours maintained superior pancreatic function and experienced fewer age-related metabolic disorders. Modern medical research now validates these ancient observations. Studies demonstrate that the pancreas produces fewer enzymes during evening hours, making it less capable of processing complex carbohydrates and certain plant compounds found in specific vegetables. For individuals over 60, this reduced evening capacity becomes even more pronounced due to natural age-related decline in organ function. The circadian rhythm governing insulin production shows peak efficiency during daylight hours and significant reduction after sunset. When challenging vegetables are consumed during this vulnerable window, they trigger inflammatory cascades that the weakened evening pancreas cannot adequately counteract. The mechanism of harm operates through multiple pathways. Certain vegetables contain natural compounds called glycoalkaloids, oxalates, and fermentable carbohydrates that require extensive enzymatic processing for safe digestion. During daylight hours, the robust pancreas handles these compounds efficiently. However, nighttime consumption overwhelms the reduced enzymatic capacity, leading to incomplete digestion, fermentation in the gut, release of inflammatory cytokines, and direct irritation of pancreatic tissue. Over months and years, this repeated evening assault accumulates into chronic inflammation, reduced insulin sensitivity, and progressive pancreatic dysfunction. Buddhist wisdom emphasizes prevention over treatment, teaching that avoiding harm proves easier than reversing damage already done. Understanding which vegetables pose the greatest evening risk empowers seniors to make simple dietary adjustments that protect pancreatic health without requiring drastic lifestyle changes. The following vegetables, when consumed at night by those over 60, create the most significant pancreatic stress and should be eliminated from evening meals or consumed only during earlier daylight hours when the pancreas possesses full protective capacity. The first vegetable requiring evening avoidance is the humble potato. This staple food appears on dinner plates worldwide, yet its consumption after 6 p.m. creates serious pancreatic challenges for aging bodies. Potatoes contain high levels of rapidly digestible starch that triggers massive insulin release. When consumed during evening hours, this insulin demand strains the already weakened nighttime pancreas, forcing it to work at maximum capacity precisely when it should be resting. Buddhist dietary principles teach that heavy, starchy foods belong to morning and midday meals when digestive fire burns strongest. Potatoes also contain glycoalkaloids, particularly in the skin and any green portions. These natural toxins require extensive enzymatic detoxification by the pancreas. During evening hours, reduced enzyme production means these compounds circulate longer in the system, causing inflammation and cellular stress in pancreatic tissue. The glycemic impact of potatoes proves particularly problematic at night. They cause rapid blood sugar spikes followed by crashes that disrupt sleep and force the pancreas into repeated emergency insulin production throughout the night. For those over 60, the situation becomes even more concerning. Research shows that evening potato consumption correlates with increased fasting blood sugar levels the following morning, indicating sustained pancreatic stress and insulin resistance. The starch in potatoes converts to sugar rapidly, and when consumed before sleep, this sugar remains elevated throughout the night since physical activity that would normally use it as fuel does not occur. The pancreas must maintain insulin production for extended periods, leading to exhaustion of beta cells responsible for insulin synthesis. Traditional wisdom suggests that potatoes should never be consumed within 4 hours of bedtime. Those who regularly eat potatoes at dinner may notice morning grogginess, elevated blood sugar readings, digestive discomfort, or gradual weight gain around the midsection, all signs of pancreatic stress. The solution involves simple timing adjustment. Enjoying potatoes at lunch allows the robust afternoon pancreas to process them efficiently, while evening meals focus on lighter, less glycemic vegetables that do not overwhelm nighttime organ function. This simple change protects the pancreas from unnecessary strain and supports stable blood sugar levels throughout the night. The second problematic evening vegetable is corn. This sweet, popular vegetable contains exceptionally high levels of fermentable carbohydrates that cause havoc when consumed at night. Buddhist nutritional philosophy categorizes corn as a heating food that increases internal fire and disruption. The evening body requires cooling, calming foods that promote rest rather than stimulation. Corn's high fiber content and complex carbohydrate structure demand extensive digestive effort that the nighttime pancreas struggles to provide. Corn contains resistant starch that escapes digestion in the small intestine and ferments in the colon, producing gas and inflammatory compounds that circulate back to affect the pancreas. This fermentation process intensifies during nighttime when gut motility slows and food remains in the digestive tract longer. The inflammatory signals generated by corn fermentation trigger pancreatic enzyme release at a time when the organ should be recovering and regenerating. Repeated evening corn consumption creates chronic low-grade inflammation that progressively damages pancreatic tissue. The sugar content in corn, particularly sweet corn varieties, rivals that of some fruits. When this natural sugar floods the bloodstream during evening hours, it forces massive insulin production from an already tired pancreas. For seniors with compromised glucose tolerance, evening corn consumption can push fasting blood sugar levels into pre-diabetic or diabetic ranges. The pancreas works overtime trying to manage the glucose load while simultaneously dealing with the inflammatory compounds from corn's fermentation. Traditional healing practices recommend corn consumption only during midday hours when digestive capacity peaks. Those who eat corn at dinner often experience bloating, gas production that worsens overnight, restless sleep from blood sugar fluctuations, and morning fatigue from sustained pancreatic work during sleep hours. Moving corn to lunchtime meals allows proper digestion and prevents the inflammatory cascade that evening consumption triggers. The pancreas responds positively to this timing adjustment, showing reduced stress markers and improved insulin sensitivity over time. The third vegetable-demanding evening restriction is the tomato. While celebrated for its lycopene content and cardiovascular benefits, tomato consumption after dark creates serious problems for the aging pancreas. Tomatoes contain high levels of natural acids, including citric acid and malic acid, that stimulate digestive enzyme production. When these acids enter the system during evening hours, they trigger inappropriate pancreatic activation at a time when the organ should be resting. Buddhist medicine classifies tomatoes as excessively yin, cooling and dampening to internal organs. Evening consumption of yin foods disrupts the body's warming evening transition necessary for restful sleep. The acidic nature of tomatoes also causes increased stomach acid production that can reflux into the esophagus during nighttime reclining positions, creating additional stress signals that affect pancreatic function. The digestive disruption caused by evening tomato consumption cascades throughout the entire metabolic system. Tomatoes contain moderate amounts of oxalates, compounds that require specific enzymes for safe processing. The evening pancreas produces insufficient quantities of these enzymes, allowing oxalates to circulate and potentially form crystals that cause inflammation. For those over 60 whose pancreatic enzyme production has naturally declined, evening tomato consumption poses heightened risk. The body struggles to neutralize the acid load and process the oxalates, leading to inflammatory responses that damage pancreatic cells over time. Research indicates that nighttime tomato consumption correlates with increased morning blood sugar levels and elevated inflammatory markers in seniors. The acid-alkaline balance of the body shifts toward acidity, creating an internal environment favorable to pancreatic inflammation. Traditional wisdom advises consuming tomatoes only during morning and early afternoon hours when stomach acid production and pancreatic enzymes can properly handle their processing. Those who regularly eat tomatoes at dinner may notice acid reflux symptoms, morning stiffness, disrupted sleep from digestive activity, or gradual worsening of blood sugar control. Shifting tomato consumption to earlier in the day protects the pancreas while still allowing enjoyment of this nutritious vegetable. The timing change alone, without eliminating tomatoes entirely, provides significant protective benefits for pancreatic health and overall metabolic function. The fourth concerning evening vegetable is the bell pepper. These colorful vegetables contain high levels of indigestible fiber and complex carbohydrates that challenge the nighttime digestive system. Bell peppers also contain solanine, a glycoalkaloid compound that requires extensive enzymatic detoxification. When consumed during evening hours, the reduced pancreatic enzyme production cannot adequately process solanine, allowing it to persist in the system and trigger inflammatory responses throughout the night. Buddhist nutritional principles teach that raw, crunchy vegetables belong to daytime meals when digestive fire burns hot. Evening meals should feature softer, easily digestible foods that calm rather than stimulate the digestive system. Bell peppers violate this principle through their tough skin and crisp flesh that require significant digestive effort. The pancreas must produce extra enzymes to break down the complex plant structures, work that exhausts the organ during its vulnerable evening period. The high fiber content in bell peppers, while beneficial during daytime, becomes problematic at night. This fiber moves slowly through the evening digestive tract, fermenting and producing gas that distends the intestines and creates pressure on surrounding organs, including the pancreas. The inflammatory compounds released during fiber fermentation circulate systemically, causing oxidative stress to pancreatic cells. For seniors with already compromised pancreatic function, this nightly inflammatory assault accelerates organ decline. Bell peppers also contain moderate natural sugars that, while not as concentrated as in corn or potatoes, still require insulin production for processing. Evening consumption means this insulin demand continues throughout the night when the pancreas should be regenerating. The combination of fiber fermentation, solanine toxicity, and glucose management overwhelms the aging pancreas, creating a perfect storm of metabolic stress. Traditional medicine recommends consuming bell peppers only at lunch and avoiding them entirely within 6 hours of bedtime. Those who eat bell peppers at dinner often experience bloating that worsens overnight, morning fatigue from disrupted sleep, difficulty maintaining stable blood sugar, and gradual development of digestive sensitivity. Moving bell pepper consumption to midday meals allows proper digestion and eliminates the evening inflammatory burden on the pancreas, supporting better metabolic health and improved sleep quality. The fifth vegetable requiring nighttime avoidance is the onion. This aromatic vegetable forms the foundation of countless dinner recipes, yet its evening consumption creates significant pancreatic challenges. Onions contain high levels of fructans, complex carbohydrates that ferment extensively in the gut. This fermentation process intensifies during nighttime when digestive motility slows, producing excessive gas and inflammatory byproducts that stress the pancreas. Buddhist dietary wisdom recognizes onions as highly stimulating foods that increase internal heat and agitation. Evening consumption of stimulating foods disrupts the body's natural transition toward rest and repair. The volatile compounds in onions trigger sustained digestive activity throughout the night, preventing the pancreas from entering its essential regenerative phase. The organ remains activated and working when it should be recovering from the day's metabolic demands. Onions also contain sulfur compounds that require specialized enzymes for safe processing. When consumed at night, the reduced enzymatic capacity means these sulfur compounds circulate longer, causing oxidative stress to pancreatic tissue. The inflammation triggered by these compounds accumulates over time, contributing to chronic pancreatic dysfunction. For seniors whose antioxidant systems have naturally weakened, this oxidative burden proves particularly damaging. The strong flavor compounds in onions stimulate acid production in the stomach, which then signals the pancreas to release digestive enzymes. This inappropriate evening activation forces the organ to work when it should be resting. The repeated nightly stimulation exhausts pancreatic enzyme-producing cells, gradually reducing the organ's overall functional capacity. Over months and years, this nightly assault contributes to enzyme insufficiency and metabolic disorders. Traditional healing practices suggest consuming onions only during breakfast and lunch when digestive capacity can handle their complex chemistry. Those who eat onions at dinner frequently experience acid reflux worsening at night, difficulty falling asleep from digestive activity, morning blood sugar elevation, and gradual deterioration of glucose tolerance. Eliminating onions from evening meals while enjoying them earlier in the day protects the pancreas from unnecessary stress and supports healthier metabolic function throughout the entire 24-hour cycle. The understanding that common vegetables can harm the pancreas when consumed at inappropriate times revolutionizes dietary approaches for those over 60. Buddhist wisdom teaches that harmony with natural rhythms forms the foundation of health maintenance. The pancreas operates according to circadian patterns that must be respected through thoughtful meal timing. These vegetables remain nutritious and beneficial when consumed during daylight hours when the pancreas possesses full protective capacity. The transformation available through this knowledge proves profound. By simply adjusting when these vegetables are consumed rather than eliminating them entirely, seniors can protect pancreatic health, stabilize blood sugar levels, improve sleep quality, reduce inflammation, and maintain metabolic function as they age. The body responds positively to practices aligned with its natural rhythms, rewarding correct timing with enhanced vitality and reduced disease risk. Buddhist philosophy emphasizes the middle path, avoiding extremes while making wise adjustments. This principle applies perfectly to vegetable timing. No need exists to fear these vegetables or remove them completely from the diet. The solution involves eating them during morning and afternoon hours when the body can process them safely while choosing lighter, less challenging vegetables for evening meals. This balanced approach honors both nutritional needs and organ protection. Practical implementation requires planning evening meals around pancreas-friendly vegetables such as leafy greens, cucumber, zucchini, and well-cooked carrots. These gentle options provide nutrition without overwhelming the nighttime digestive system. Breakfast and lunch can include the more challenging vegetables discussed, allowing enjoyment of their flavors and nutrients while protecting evening pancreatic function. This timing adjustment requires no special foods or expensive supplements, merely awareness and intentional meal planning. For those who have consumed these problematic vegetables at dinner for years or decades, the pancreas possesses remarkable healing capacity when given proper support. Eliminating evening consumption of starchy, acidic, and fermentable vegetables allows the organ to recover gradually. Combined with other health practices such as maintaining healthy weight, regular gentle exercise, adequate sleep, and stress management, the pancreas can regenerate and improve function even in advanced age. If this information has provided valuable insight into protecting pancreatic health and optimizing meal timing for longevity, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Share this knowledge with family members and friends over 60 who could benefit from understanding how timing affects their health. The comment section below offers space to share experiences with evening vegetable consumption and the changes noticed after adjusting meal timing. Leave a comment with the affirmation, "My body honors natural rhythms and healing wisdom." This declaration strengthens commitment to respecting the body's needs and following practices that support rather than harm vital organs. Together, this community can spread awareness about the importance of meal timing for senior health and help others discover the transformative power of eating in harmony with natural body rhythms. The wisdom shared today represents centuries of observation combined with modern medical understanding, offering a clear path toward protecting the pancreas and maintaining metabolic health throughout the golden years.